What's going on, guys? Jim, the game guru. Okay, we've got another compilation video today. We're going to do 22 local competitive games. Yeah, you guys know that I do a lot of local co-op videos, and we're like, I'm thinking on local co-ops, we're over 110, I believe. But today we're going to do local competitive. We're going to switch it up a little bit. These ones are a little harder to find because a lot of the competitive ones multiplayer are usually online. We've got 22 good games. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I have a giveaway coming up in the middle of June for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Fantastic 3D open world game. That will be up for grabs in the middle of June, as well as I have a board game that I'm giving away as well. Recently, I've decided to push all my new videos for board games on my board game channel to kind of segment and have my content flow a little better. So if you're interested in any kind of board game stuff or that board game giveaway, then you can go ahead and click the link in the description of the video, which will take you to my board game channel, and subscribe there. I will have that board game available in the middle of June as well, right around the same time as The Legend of Zelda giveaway. Alright, so let's take a look here and see what we have for 22 games. Alright, let's start off the first game right now. We're going to do Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah, when it comes to local competitive, same screen, same room. You can't get any more local competitive than Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It is absolutely amazing how some people get so good at this game. I remember the first time I played this game, it was at the end of a work day. One of my friends brought it into our office, and I was playing it along with another one of our friends. So I had two of my friends there, and we were playing it. One of my friends was so good that we were 2v1ing against him, and we could not beat him one single time. It's crazy. So crazy how like people can get so good at this game. Yeah, this is a great game. I mean, this game is just, it has awesome all the awesome characters you can think of in a lot of video games. Amazing levels. Some of these levels are just insane on what happens on the screen, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh my god, this level is so cool looking. Game with simple controls, but man, it's really hard to beat people that are good at it. Okay, second game is Heave Ho. Heave Ho, I think, is a very underrated game, but it is an amazing game where you're kind of these little characters with heads and arms, and you have to go from one end to another. Now, the reason why I have this game on here is because normally you're playing cooperatively with a bunch of people locally to get to your end goal, right, on every stage. But there's also a team mode in this game where you can have one team against another team, and the first team that makes it across the stage wins. So it's really, really cool. The third game, Super Mario Party. Okay, this game is it's a game that has a bunch of mini games. It's a bunch of party mini games where you can be a bunch of the Mario characters. You just try to win during your mini games. There's also a board game mode too that they've added to this game, and I believe like the latest update for it is that it also has online capabilities. But yeah, Super Mario Party is another good choice for a local competitive party game. The fourth game on the list, Ultimate Chicken Horse. So Ultimate Chicken Horse is a party platformer where you and your friends build a level as you play, placing deadly traps before trying to reach the end of the level. If you make it but your friends can't, you score points. So there you go. This is one game that I have seen over and over again with trailers, but I have never actually tried picking this up. One day I think I'm going to pick this up and play. It looks really cool. As the description says, you build a stage, a level, and then you gotta try to beat your friends as far as getting across to the level. Fifth game, Towerfall, the classic archery party game from the creators of Celeste, featuring Nintendo Switch exclusive 6-player battles and more. Yeah, so in this game you're in like a little tiny arena, and you guys are all a bunch of archers, and you just try to shoot each other. Now, I have tried playing this game single player, and man, does it suck. Like, I think this game is definitely a game that you have to play with a bunch of people. If you try to play this by yourself, you're not going to like it at all. And it was pretty bad when I tried it by myself. So I'm gonna give this game another shot. I'll probably next time I try it, I'll get a bunch of people in the room and see if we'll have fun shooting at each other. Sixth game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Nothing much to say here. The amazing kart racer. It's probably the best kart racer you're gonna find. great for local competitive play. You just got to beat everybody, right? Beat them in the races, and then the person with the most points at the end of that particular cup, wins. There's also a team mode in there too, where you can have half your friends on one team and half on a different team, and then you try, whichever team has the most points at the end will end up winning. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 is actually fantastic. 7th game is going to be Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers is it's more of a co-op game where you go through and you have an adventure and you gotta try to save the princess at the end. It's kind of like a brawler, but you're with knights. But the reason why I have this on this list is because the game also offers modes where you're in the arena and you have to compete against the other knights. So even though the base game is not really based on local competitive, it does have a feature where you can have some kind of local competitive action with it. Okay, so next one, Puyo Tetris 2. There's also other games that are like this where it's kind of like a Tetris block style game, and with this game you can do competitive play against somebody else. Like one person does the Puyo side, the other person does the Tetris side, and you're just stacking the blocks and trying to clear out the rows, and then you can actually end up throwing blocks on the other person's screen. There are quite a few games that are like this. Another one is like Crystal Crisis that is like this. There's also the first Puyo Tetris one. These games are ideal for 1v1 block style action. 9th on the list, ARMS. Okay, this is kind of a unique fighter where you're like in this 3D arena and you're battling with characters that have extendable arms, and that's why it's called ARMS, right? You have extendable arms. It's almost like a boxing in a way, because a lot of them have like boxing gloves on the end of their arms. But yeah, the one game that I had never tried yet, and the reason is because of the price. I feel like the price is so expensive on this game, and I don't feel like it's very popular. It was bigger back in the day when the Switch first launched, but now I don't think a lot of people talk about it too much. But still, the price is really expensive. It's a Nintendo game, right? Nintendo never reduces the prices on their games ever, unless it's on that seasonal sale where they dip it like 33% off or something. One day I'm gonna try this. Once Nintendo finally drops it to like $19 or something, I'm gonna pick this up. But it looks kind of cool. Okay, so the 10th is Taiko no Tatsujin Drum in Fun. Man, talk about the hardest title to say. I can't even pronounce that game. So in this game you use like the Joy-Cons and you basically have to kind of drum to the beat. It's a rhythm game, and there's a party mode in this game where you guys can drum along, and I guess the person that hits the best beats on there is victorious. So it's Drum in Fun. The 11th game on the list, Just Dance 2021. Alright, I have to admit it. I can't believe I'm going to admit it, but I have to admit it. I like Just Dance. I really do like Just Dance. Yeah, the game has been around, like, every iteration doesn't seem like it really progresses from the earlier iteration. It seems like to me it's more of like hey, here's a license refresh, and maybe some new songs or whatever, and maybe a few tweaks here and there. For the most part, going from one Just Dance to another Just Dance, they're very, very, very similar, and I feel like every year there's a new Just Dance. I love Just Dance. I think it's a great game because you just get up and you're dancing, and you have to dance and kind of swing the controller in the right movement to match it that's on the screen. It is a tad bit expensive when you go for the newer ones, but yeah, it's a good time if you want to get up and kind of move and dance around and try to beat other people, and while you guys are all dancing. I can't see anything wrong with this, but this is also one of those titles though that I feel like instead of getting it brand new, so now this 2021 is the latest one, right? Instead of getting it now, maybe this is a title that you wait until the 2022 version comes out, and then just wait for the 2021 version to drop in price. Because like I said earlier, from version to version, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of differences, that you can probably go for like the older versions. 12th on the list is the Jackbox party games. Those games you play with your cell phone, computer, or tablet, or whatever. You only use the controller to actually launch the game, and it's a bunch of mini games that you can have a bunch of people in the same room, and you're playing competitive, and you're using your cell phones. And a lot of the games you can have up like around 6 to 8 people. There are some that say you can have up to 100, but those are usually the more boring games in their packs. The Jackbox games are amazing. There are some that are duds, but then there are some that are just wow, super super cool mini games. and they're definitely good options for local competitive. 13th on the list, Mario Tennis Aces. Okay, so this game is a game that doesn't offer a whole lot as far as single player content, but I guess where it really shines is kind of in the multiplayer competitive. So if you want to play some tennis against your friends, choose different characters, have some insane tennis battles, then this could be a good choice for you. It is expensive, and then again, it is a Nintendo game, right? Nintendo games are going to be $60. Like I said earlier, Nintendo doesn't like to drop their prices unless it's for that seasonal 30% off on certain titles. What do we have next? Rocket League. Wow, Rocket League. So this is a game that I was super addicted to for years, like 5 years on the PlayStation 4, and I wouldn't play anything else really. I would play Rocket League the entire time. Got pretty decent. I was like a champ 1, but which is nowhere near grand champion or anything, but I didn't do too bad. But eventually I got to the point where I just had to just nix the Rocket League, because it was either play a bunch of games or only play Rocket League. So I decided to nix it. Every now and then, man, I tell you what, I do want to get back into the game. It's kind of like a drug. like I want to get back into the game because it's so competitive and so good. It's such a good game. It's got awesome physics to it, and it's cars. You're playing soccer, but the game is so good. And on the Switch version, you can do 4-player split screen if it's docked. If your Switch is docked. If your Switch is not docked and it's in handheld, you only had 2-player split screen. So let's say if you want to do like table mode or something with your Switch. But yeah, Rocket League is an awesome game. If you've never played it, give it a shot. But be careful, because once you cross the line from a casual player in Rocket League to a competitive player in Rocket League, you may lose your life, because that's how good that game is. 15th game on the list is Pokken Tournament DX. Well, this is basically a fighting game, but you have Pokemon characters, and you're in an arena and you're battling it out. It feels like it's more like simplistic moves, less RPG-like. But yeah, if you want to fight and you want to fight against somebody else with Pokemon characters in a battle, in an arena, there you go. Pokken Tournament DX. 16th on the list is 1-2 Switch. This is a game you heard a lot about when the Switch first came out. You don't really hear too much about it. Again, being a Nintendo game, this game is not as expensive as the other Nintendo games by $10. It's $50 instead of $60. This game is all about mini games that utilize the gyro controls in a Joy-Con, so they're very gimmicky mini games. Never played this, and it's just because of price. I'm not going to spend $50 for a gyro mini game that's over expensive on the Switch. So I don't feel like this one's particularly worth it as far as the price, but I wouldn't doubt that there's some charm to this game. Okay, the 17th game is Super Bomberman R. This one has a big local co-op campaign to it, so if you want to play with other people, if you want to play with another person to go through the campaign mode, you can. But it also has an 8-player battle multiplayer mode where you can all be in this arena and shooting bombs at each other. It's very classic Bomberman action where you're on a grid and you move up and down, left and right, and then you just drop these little bombs as you go across, and you're trying to blow up the other players. 18th on the list is Nidhogg 2. Okay, so the next installment of the epic award-winning dueling tug-of-war is here. Stab, shoot, slice, or stomp your opponent to gain control of the screen. Then book it to your side of the arena. Before long, a new opponent will appear in your way. If they kill you, they get control. Yeah, so this is a very interesting game. It's very strange. You have like these screens, and what happens is you have one person on one side and another person on the other, and you have to move your character all the way across to one side of the screen. And then while the other person is constantly getting a new character to kill you, and then they run across the screen. So if you kill the other person, you gain control, and then you're allowed to go toward your end of the screen. If they kill you, then they walk toward the end of the screen. So what happens is the first person that gets all the way across will end up getting eaten by this giant worm called a Nidhogg, and they win. So the tug-of-war aspect comes in the fact that you go back and forth on the screens until one person finally makes it all the way across. I'm going to be absolutely honest, I absolutely despise the art style in this game. The first game was more pixel art based, and I'd rather have that than this. The art style in this game looks like a very bad, it looks like something that would go with like a rated B animation, movie or something. I can't, I mean, I can't stand it. I mean, the game is probably fun as far as the gameplay, but the art style, it just drives me absolutely bonkers. So the 19th game on the list is Stickbolt, a dodgeball adventure. Stickbolt is a hard-hitting, fast-paced dodgeball sports game set in a colorful and quirky 70s universe with brand new content, improved features, and gameplay for up to 6 players. The Switch exclusive deluxe edition is perfect for any party or social gathering. So, yeah, so it's dodgeball, right? It's got this cool 70s universe. You're in this big old, like, little round kind of arena type thing, and you're playing dodgeball. The thing that's really cool too is not only does this have like a competitive multiplayer mode to it, but it also has a co-op mode that I didn't know about. So you can play with one other person, local co-op on it. So I am adding this game to my next local co-op video. Okay, so 20th on the list is Lethal League Blaze. Alright, so this is kind of like a fighting game, but with a twist. What happens is you have this little ball, it's got like a baseball, it's really hard, and you use bats or whatever weapon a character has, and you hit the ball back to the other person and try to hit them with the ball, and that other person can actually hit the ball back to you. And if you end up depleting that person's energy, you kind of knock them out. And if you knock the person out a few times throughout the match, the person that has the most basically wins the match. The art style in this one I actually like. I like it a lot because it kind of reminds me of Jet Set Radio for some reason. It does. It has that kind of some of the music and some of the characters, the way they look and the colors and stuff. It reminds me of Jet Set Radio. Now the gameplay is nothing like it. The game itself, it definitely reminds. This game is kind of very similar to Wand Wars, but instead of it being like a top-down, it's more of a side-scrolling, and it's got this kind of fusion of side-scrolling fighting plus Wand Wars type of action. 21st game on the list is Crawl. Okay, Crawl is a fast-paced arcade dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 players. Battle through randomly generated dungeons full of cruel traps and horrid beasts, all controlled by your friends. If one of them kills you, they take your place, and it's their turn to crawl. It's a race to gain enough XP and loot to face them all as they possess the flailing limbs of the hulking final boss. Just like the description says, one player goes through this dungeon crawling game. It's got really, really cool looking pixel art. I really love the pixel art. I don't know how it plays. I haven't really tried it yet. It's cool how all of your friends are in the game as the enemies, and they have to try to kill you. They're the monsters, so you need to go as far as you can in this dungeon crawling, and then they try to kill you. If they kill you, then I guess it kind of swaps places, and somebody else is now the adventurer, has to go through the dungeon crawling, and then that person that dies is probably part of the monsters then. It's very unique. I don't think I've ever seen, I mean, there's probably a few other games out there that have done this, but it's very, very rare that I see a game where your friends control the enemies and you're the main adventurer. Okay, the last game on the list, the 22nd game on the list. Well, shoot, I said Lethal League Blaze earlier, right? And what game did I say it was like? It was like Wand Wars. So the last game on the list is Wand Wars. This has a VS mode where you can get 4 people in. You're basically wizards, and you're playing this Merlin ball, and there's different type of Merlin ball. You can play one with like goals, and you have to shoot this ball into a goal. Or there's modes where you try to knock out the other wizards by hitting them with the ball. And just like Lethal Blaze, you're hitting the ball back and forth and trying to knock the person out. The more you hit it, the more you charged up when you're hitting it, the faster the ball goes. I think Wand Wars has some really good pixel art. I'm not a big fan of the story mode. It's not that great. But the VS mode, I think, would probably be a blast with a lot of people, especially with 4 people in there. I like the top-down view a little bit more than the side view with Lethal Blaze, because I feel like it's a little easier to kind of see things and maneuver that way. The side view is a little hard because you have jumping. So Lethal League Blaze has a jumping where you have to also jump and catch the ball or hit it. But with Wand Wars, I think being top down and the ball just moves around, then it's a little easier to control. There you go. 22 games with local competitive, where you and a friend can battle each other out in these games and shake your finger in their face, na 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 boo boo, or whatever you're gonna do when you rub it in when you win, or maybe you're twerking in front of them if you win. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think of the video, and if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing, and let me know if there's other types of compilations you want to see. I've done a bunch of different genres in my compilation videos, but let me know if there's a genre I haven't touched that you guys would like on a future video. And remember, the giveaway is the middle of June for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Alright guys, I will see you later. Bye.